What's up, guys? Welcome to today's video. So we're gonna start it off here at the shop. Welcome to the channel. Honestly, been a long time coming. We made a couple videos in the past, but we haven't put them up yet. So we're just gonna start here and basically kind of show you what we got. So recently we got our own shop here, and it's a pretty big step in the right direction. Obviously, having a couple cars, you're gonna want a space to work on them, and you know, for me, I'm into drifting, I'm into, you know, all this old 90s crap boxes, so you know, you need a spot. But anyways, moving forward, like I said, I have a few cars. We're gonna dive in. This is my 1995 Nissan 240SX. This thing, she's tried and true, and she's a little bit beat up, but I mean, overall, it's actually a pretty clean car. We're here in the snow belt up in Canada, and for anyone who knows cars up here, they rot out pretty quickly. Something like this is really hard to come by, but yeah, we got to do some work on it. I plan to get myself a welder and hopefully, you know, get this thing where it needs to be, but honestly, quite a pretty good car. I beat it up all the time, and it just works. This is a Zenki model for those who know, if they care, whatever. I guess you know, you know. I do have a racing seat in it. I drift this, and if you can see, it's actually automatic. So I've drifted this for like 2 years, automatic. And it works, but I mean, anyone who's drifted an automatic car, maybe like an automatic IS, like those will have more power than this does, and it's possible, but it's definitely difficult. So recently I picked up a sim rig, and I've been getting a lot of seat time, but this thing is going to get a manual swap fairly soon. So that's kind of like the big thing. Maybe one of our next big videos will be a manual swap on the 95 here. So that'll be exciting, man. I know it's going to drive like a completely different car. Manual versus automatic, it's going to be night and day. So this thing is like bone stock, down to the intake. I mean, this thing is just, it works. I've done like plugs, fuel filter, Z32 fuel filter. We got Z32 big brakes on the wheels there, and I got a set of 18s that I run sometimes, but we had to tuck the wiring harness a little bit. But other than this, like, it's pretty much bone stock. We got a seat and a steering wheel, and this thing just works. So moving on, we got our 1987 Mazda R7 Turbo 2. So this car, again, is not perfect. It's a little rough around the edges. You can see got some rust going on. Kind of similar thing. Again, we're in Canada, so the interior on this thing, like this one was a one-owner car, completely bone stock, and it's honestly a pretty clean interior. I think it's got 167K, 169,000 kilometers. So it's like, for a one-owner car, it's pretty good. And when I got this car, it was like pink, orange, like it was really bad. And I kind of brought the paint back a little bit. I would like to do it again, but it takes so much time. And just another stock, bone stock Turbo 2. These things, I mean, this thing I've also beat up pretty good. I've never done anything to this car. And for it being an 87, which would be 20, 30, how many years? 87 would be like 20, no, it'd be 36 years. 36 years old. So like this thing's almost 40 years old, and it just takes it. So to me, that just like blows my mind. But yeah, moving on from this thing, because I mean, the plans with this is similar to this. I've always wanted to drift an FC RX-7. So basically, drift car. We're gonna just kind of get this thing dialed in, get a set of coilovers for it, a wheel, and try and get this thing out there on the track. So I guess what's next, we'll go with the Z32. This thing is my first sports car. So I had not really much interest in the cars growing up, and just kind of a late bloomer into it. I was kind of looking at a Cobalt SS. I actually really wanted a Cobalt SS, the turbo model. They like come with launch control, and they're turbo. They got flat foot shifting. They're just kind of like described as like a mini go-kart. And I don't know, that might be cringe, it might not be, but what ended up happening is I saved up all this money to buy a Cobalt SS. I was driving down the road and I passed this car. I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm like kind of learning about 240s. I'm like, is that a 240? So I go up to it and I'm like, oh, it's a 300 SX. Little did I know about these cars, and I actually ended up purchasing it on my birthday. So this was my first car, 300 ZX, not a SX, and it's really clean. This car is really clean, not like the others. This thing, the paint on it, these three are really dirty. They've been sitting for a bit, but the paint on this car is really clean. It had only 3 owners. I think, where's the mileage on it? 176, so kind of low mileage. Bone stock interior. The interior is super clean on this car. And this is kind of the car that just got me into everything. So like I was driving this, I wanted to do my first modifications. My very first modification was the exhaust. I threw a HKS catback on this thing. It's like 4-inch pipes on the back. It's kind of excessive, but I love it. And we bought Tane coilovers, Tane Flex C coilovers. We slammed it down. I had a wheel and a likewise shifter in there, and honestly this thing just drove really, really well. Why it's been sitting is I plan to do like timing belt kit, and I just kind of care about this car now, and I really just have a lot of projects, so this car has just been sitting on a back burner, but we will be doing a timing belt service on this thing, and hopefully getting it on the road for next season. So brings me to my second RX-7. This is my Turbo 2 10th anniversary. It's another FC RX-7. And with it being a 10th anniversary, they're actually very rare. This is one of 1,500 ever made, and they came all white with the white trim, the white wheels, and there's white taillights on it with the white wing on the back. And this thing also is a turbo car. They're very, very sought after. This was, I think, 2-owner car. So we purchased this for a very good price, and it's actually only got, I believe, 129,000 kilometers. Oh yeah, FC problems. This is broken. But this one is an 88, and it's so that's 35 years old. So I mean, things are going to be on it, but it's a very clean car. This car is very similar to the Z, where there's no rust on this car. And basically the plan for this car is we just want to do a complete restore on it. Complete OEM plus restore, so maybe like a big single turbo, some coilovers, maybe wheels down the road, like some BBS kind of RX-7 style wheels. But as you can see, even the engine bay is just really clean on this car. So for a true Canadian FC RX-7, this thing is like very good condition. Fortunately too, all these cars run. So right now, I mean, this needs a battery, and this needs a battery, and that needs a battery. So I mean, everything needs a battery, it seems like, but they run, so it's kind of cool. And yeah, so that kind of leaves us with the last little gem we got tucked away in the corner. And don't mind the dust, because this thing is filthy, like very dirty, and kind of been neglected, unfortunately. This right here, it's a 1992 Mazda RX-7. This is an FD RX-7, similar to what, if you guys seen Fast and Furious, like Dominic Toretto or Vin Diesel drove, and I think number 1 or number 2. And this car, so it's a right-hand drive car. So this car actually came from Japan. It was imported. Yeah, get in there, see if you can see anything. So it's a right-hand drive car. And this car is really clean. Like from Japan, you never know kind of what you're getting, because they do have snow and, you know, they get rust up there. But actually, this car was pretty good shape, and it's got some like mismatched paint and stuff like in some areas. But overall, the car is in really good shape. I have an OE wing to throw on that. I'm also looking for like a 99 spec wing. I threw 99 spec tails on it, and it's kind of got a RE style diffuser on the rear. But honestly, like this car drove really good too, and it sounds like nuts. Like if we had a battery on these right now, I'd definitely have to fire this one up, because it just sounds so crazy. So this one being right-hand drive is my first right-hand drive car. And I mean, people ask me all the time, are they hard to drive? I'd say no, like you just get used to it. Turn signals and wipers are a little different, but here, I'll pop the hood on it and show you under there. So this is also like, it's a stock motor with a CSF front mount, V-mount setup. It's got a front mount intercooler and it's got HKS cold air intakes. But other than that, we just got the Greddy blow-off valve and we had an Odyssey battery box. But I mean, it's a pretty bone stock car, and I mean, this one was pretty quick. This had to be my fastest car, but I mean, this is kind of what we were looking at here and what we're starting with. So now you guys kind of got an idea on what we're dealing with here and what our plans are. Like this one right here, I guess I didn't go into detail, but my plans with this are kind of similar to these two. It's more of like a restore. I've always wanted to do a VL-side kit, and I mean, we know the prices on those things, and they're just going up and up and up, and then the bodywork and the paint and yada yada. But I mean, we'll see what we can do. I mean, these things are just gems as is. Yeah, I got a spare motor for this thing. We're just we're not sure if we're gonna, you know, ever run into that issue. Hopefully not. But I mean, I got a spare motor sitting. I guess I can show you guys this Lexus. So we got a little daily recently, because I've been driving the 240 all the time, and that's kind of why the rust like hasn't gotten any better, is because I had a daily at a few winters. So I had a daily, it was a Cobalt, I sold it, and now I got this Lexus. I got it for a good deal. So this is just the ES300. It's a 3-liter, very clean car inside and out, and got 174K. But enough about that. Yeah, so plans here at the shop are just trying to, you know, start recording some videos, document it. Oh yeah, and this is Jazz, by the way. This is Jasmine. She's my chocolate lab, shop dog, so very good girl. So we'll have to see about what we can kind of accomplish and whatnot. My plans here are kind of like endless almost. Like I really have such big dreams, but I mean, we'll see what we can come up with. Overall, we've been here 3 months, and I'm really happy. I've gotten a lot of work done, surprisingly, and that's what this thing around the corner with the manual swap. It's just I needed to have a spot. So I don't know what else. It's just kind of been a video of rambling and whatnot. I'm gonna try and throw in some B-roll there, and who knows, maybe I can go record some little drifts or something with this and just kind of get it in the video, get you guys' attention. We'll close it out here, and thanks for watching today's video. I don't know if you guys seen some cars in the background. I might include them in the B-roll, but thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.
Sneak up on anybody.
I heard something coming.
Yeah, I'm pretty quiet in town. 23 key. That's it.
The ownership's 100 years old.
Yeah. I don't know how they get away with calling it a 23. Registered as a 23.
Yeah.
See, it's built under a it's built under a VTEC.
What the heck? Look at the headers, man.
Yeah.
So when I brought it imported, there was no release. Yeah, so it might.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. He's scaring the out of me.